Hi, this is Matthew. I want to talk about another radio series from the BBC this time. The dramatizations of Sherlock Holmes they did from 1988 to 1990. 1989, sorry, 1989 to 1998. They did them. It started because there was the year before 1988, there was a dramatization of Down to the Baskervilles that did really well, and they decided to adapt all of it, every story, every novel. There's 60 total of. Of course, they start with Studying Scarlet, 2 parts, and then the Valley of Fear, 2 parts. Each novel was in 2 parts, and then they did the short stories. Each one is its own episode, all under their names, but all under the Sherlock Holmes, series. But they weren't broadcast that way. I think they did them chronologically, from what I recall. And after that, in 2000 to 2010, I think it was, they decided to do the further adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which were original things that were done, like either it was like a reference to something or a case name that was never talked about, things like that were in other, either short stories or in the novels that obviously we know nothing about. They would just make a reference to it, or they'd mention an event or something, and that's where they would go and make their own story from. The head writer was Bert Coules. He did all of this, and then Clive Merrison, where did he go? Clive, why can I never remember his name? I swear. Clive Merrison was Sherlock Holmes. I never can remember Watson's name for some strange reason. I never can remember his name. I just saw it. It's ridiculous. I just saw it as I was looking this up, and I never can think of his name. I can tell you the guy who does the later, further adventures, but I never can. His name just escapes me every time. Yes, Michael Williams. I never can remember his name. Clive Merrison was Sherlock Holmes, and then Michael Williams was John Watson, which all the way through, all 60 stories that had never been done before. They got close into the 30s with the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which I've never heard, I don't believe, except for the Valley of Fear wasn't done. And I guess we did a series here in the U.S. called The Classic Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which I'm going to have to try to find because I didn't know we had that. That was stopped in 2016. I know nothing about that. I'm going to have to go find that. I love Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, Clive Merrison and Michael Williams. I don't know why I can remember the poor man's name. I think there were so many times he sounded kind of sick or his voice was hoarse sometimes, it seemed like. But he soldiered on anyway. I think he died some point after 98, and then, of course, with the new series, it was Andrew Sachs who became Watson. He was really sick or he had already died. I'm not sure which, but he took over for those. I enjoy those also. We have to track those down. They are available anywhere you get audiobooks from. There were CDs. I don't know where they are. I never did find them. If they were available, they were really expensive. A friend of mine in Denmark could try to find them, and they were just stupidly expensive, and he just was like, no, I won't do that. I heard them through various not quite legal places for blind people to get audio from, which I won't go into. It's a private list anyway, but I heard them like that. Somebody had made them available. I know, like, the complete collection is available, like, on things like Audible, Apple Books. I know Apple Books is showing for $12.99. It is 48 hours of audio. I know in the UK it is on, the RNIB has it, and Caliber Audio has it. I don't know. For some reason, on those sets at least, it's cool they have narrations about, like, when they were on and stuff like that. But they're no longer chronological. At least I've checked out the British ones. They have all the books first, and then all the short story collections, which I would rather had been done in the way they had broadcast them. But it's not. That is not the case. I don't know how ours. I'm assuming the Audible / Apple Books / whoever version is probably the same one. I'm sure it's all through BBC Audiobooks. But I don't like that order. It's all there. I just don't care how they have done it. That's okay. It's there. It's available. It's very cheap on Apple Books. I think it's cheap on Audible too, or you can use one of your Audible credits if you have Audible. It's a really good price for that long of an audio. Yeah, I looked up other radio dramas on Apple Books for giggles, and they are very cheap. You can have hours and hours of audio, and it's like cheap as they're all about 12. It's kind of insane. And the books, Audible, I know has a Stephen Fry version, which is really good. My brother has it in his library. It doesn't seem to be available in my country on Apple Books, but there is a version available. I previewed it, read by a guy I've never heard of. I can't think of his name. It's 99 cents. I guess because it's public domain now, it's 99 cents. So you could get it for giggles, and it wouldn't be out but 99 cents. But the Stephen Fry ones are good. I think they were in like 3 or 4 parts on Audible for some reason. It wasn't all one big thing, but it is there. But I know these dramas are there. I just don't know what their price is if you wanted to buy them. Or you could always use an Audible credit. But I may see if my brother can put them into his library. I know he enjoyed them. I turned them. He was able to find them somewhere a while back. They're very good. They're all in stereo. Really plays Holmes and Watson very well, and all the other characters are very well acted. Big names were involved. Lots of big writers, big actors. I know some of the people changed just because that amount of time. I know Miss Hudson changed at least twice. I think most people stayed the same. So there's different inspectors and stuff in Scotland Yard, of course, in the books. So they kind of come and go. And Léman Lestrade's always available. Lestrade, whichever you want to pronounce his name. That inspector's always on there, and just really good adaptations of the stories. I think they were pretty faithful as far as I can remember. I've read the actual books and stories a few times. I know they're on archive.org and LibriVox and where'd the other one go? Heck. Yeah. I can't think of it right now. LibriVox. Oh, Project Gutenberg. That was it. And you might check your public libraries if you have Libby. You might be able to get it on there, or maybe you can request it. You might be able to get that version also. I think, that's the R&B has the overdrive one. So it's not quite as good a quality. And I know Caliber has it, but it's in mono. It's good quality. I checked the preview on Apple Books, and it's the good quality one, I think, if I remember right. I think. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I think it was, but I'm pretty sure I checked as a preview. But yeah, it's a really good series. You should check it out if you're able to find it somewhere. It might be available by other means too. It's the BBC Sherlock Holmes series with Clive Merrison and Michael Williams from 89 to 98. I think it should be called Sherlock Holmes: The Complete BBC Collection, I think is what it's under on the digital services out there. Obviously, your country's state library for the blind may also have it in like Australia and New Zealand. I'm not sure. South Africa, some of those may have it as well. You might not even have to. You might just be able to check it out or download it or something. Through those, probably other libraries have it. So, as I said, check Libby. See if they I think they have it. I don't know if I don't think I've checked for it, but it might be available there. You might not have a wait list. I don't know, depending on what library you have access to. You maybe not have to wait to read it for a bit. I don't know how popular they are nowadays, but I go back to them every once in a while here and there. I'll go back to hear the whole thing again. And the other series after, where they just referred to cases and made dramas about those, was the Further Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, where Clyde Marison is back, and then Andrew Saxon Watson. Those are also enjoyable. I forget how many in there were. Like, I don't know. I forget how many episodes there were of those, but 10 or 20, I want to say. I can't remember. I haven't heard them in a while. But yeah, give those a look too. Since it's the same kind of writers and stuff. It just kind of carries on from where the other ones left off, with some referenced cases or just case names or that refer to that incident, as I had said earlier. So give those a look if you're able to. And if you just like really good radio drama, these are excellent. I think that will do it for now, though. I will see you guys in another video.